A very good head for the business, yeah. Not such a good head for the science, but for the business, very smart. Always think you can find ways to cut the cost without losing the quality. That's a gift, Arthur.
Jesus Christ, what's the matter with your hands?
It's been that way for some time.
What have you been dipping them in ink?
Dipping them in ink? How fond of a pretty story, Roy? If only I were. No, Dr. Martin tells me it's a necrosis of the tissue. The cells, they're dying. The dial painters in the jaw, the necrosis with me in the hands.
I had no idea.
No reason why you should. It's been some time since I've seen you.
How long?
But I've known for a while. Miss Wiley from the Swimming League was working me to assist Dr. Martin in testing girls for radiation exposure. There aren't that many people around, you know? You can measure that type of thing. So she came to me knowing the equipment and of course the skill. I didn't believe her either, Arthur. I didn't want to believe the girls could get safe from work from no pain. I wanted to show her his mistake. So I agreed to help Dr. Martin and I conducted expired air tests on the girls. It was then that I found out my own breath registered radioactive, and my fingers they began to turn black. Now, you wish that was with me?
I'm sorry.
Perhaps you should make an appointment yourself with Dr. Martin.
Me? What for?
Arthur, you didn't notice the glowing dust on your shoes when you went home at night?
How could I miss it? I tracked it all over the house.
You can be sure a good deal of that is now in your lungs. Look familiar?
It's our promotional piece.
Excellent promotion. How many new sales did that book account for?
I didn't track it exactly. I like to think it helped our medical market quite a bit.
Page 96.
What?
Open it. Last chapter. Read it to me.
The last chapter? Radium, dangerous effects.
Dangerous effects. How many articles do you have listed there? 10, 15?
Looks like 18 about.
How far back did those articles go?
I don't know.
Look at it. Here's some. There. What's the date?
1906.
1906. Let me see. When you go into court, you claim to testify that the military raid was dangerous. How can you do that, Arthur? How can you say that you did not know when your own book says that it was? How can you claim you did not know?
I never really read it.
What do you mean you never read the book?
An outside company prepared the piece.
Which you never read?
I think you will find, Miss Wiley, that very few company presidents read their own promotions word for word.
It has your name on it. You have the final approval.
Miss Charles was entrusted with promotional efforts. I entrusted those to her.
Mr. Reader, you started the Radium Corporation in 1918,
Yes, as plant manager.
and you held this position for how long?
About 4 years.
During those 4 years, how often were you in the studio?
Almost every day.
So you must have seen the girls bring their brushes to their legs.
I don't recall.
So you went to the studio every day, and you never saw a single girl put their brush to their mouth.
I said I don't recall.
You don't recall.
Our witnesses are prepared to testify that the company could not have known about the danger. However, a key witness will not be available until the end of the summer, which won't be available until September.
What?
I'm sorry, but our chief expert witness is associated with a major university. This is his busiest time of year. We can't expect him to appear.
Mr. Markley, you're responsible for that situation. You're the one who's demanded continuous delays. You know very well these girls can't wait until September, when a soul she can't even appear in court.
My client has the right to make this defense.
We will not wait until September. I promise you.
Edward? Why can't Flynn appear? He's going to Europe. Europe? But he's known about this for months. Why would he? Oh, very clever, Edward. How long do you plan to keep this up?
As long as necessary.
That girl staring at me. I wouldn't worry about it. How do I make her know that I didn't want this to happen?
You don't.
Well, she looks like death, Edward.
They all look like their mother.
June 4th, 1928. Nancy Jane Carlin for the New York Graphic.
Jack Youngwood here for the New York Ledger.
Captain Wiley seeks trial date for early summer.
And U.S. Radium Corporation announces a settlement.
A settlement?
$10,000 cash for each girl, and $12 a week for life.
$12 a week?
Read all about it in the Ledger, your first source for news.
The company also agrees to pay the medical expenses for each of the girls for the remainder of their lives. The girls have also agreed to a periodic examination by physicians yet to be appointed. Questions?
What led to the settlement?
Is it an admission of responsibility?
What about other pending cases?
It was purely for humanitarian reasons that the U.S. Radium Corporation agreed to the settlement. We admit no liability whatsoever.
Where does the company go from here?
The U.S. Radium Corporation is pleased to have brought this lengthy litigation to a close and looks forward for many more years to serving its customers. That's Lee Charles, President. Captain Wiley of the New Jersey Consumers League, our president.
Were you pleased with the outcome, Miss Wiley?
Finally, these poor girls received some compensation for their suffering. But more importantly, the issue of radium poisoning has been brought to the public awareness.
Thanks, Miss Wiley.
The spelling, by the way, is Wiley with one L and Catherine with a K. Well, Edward, it looks like you're back in business.
What's your name?
I've got a buyer for the tailings I've been piling up in Old Street.
Oh,
Someone in Monte Claro needs a little infill.
that's perfect.
Now, Catherine, this won't do. You can't see your name. That's better. Well, Catherine, I brought them out the house today. It's such a beautiful day, too. Not much of a breeze, and the trees are starting to turn, and it's still warm. Too warm for a sweater. I find it pain.
Thought I might find you up here.
You're right.
Quiet up here. I guess if you can rest in peace, this is the place to do it, huh?
Yes, it is.
What do you call that?
Watercolors. I'm a little weak when it comes to landscape stuff.
No, it's good. It's nice.
First thing I bought was someone that knows us some paints. Got some others too.
Big spender.
Then I bought a car.
I didn't know you could drive.
I can't. My brother's gonna teach me. He drove me up here today.
Great. If you want to learn how to drive, I'd teach you.
You got other things to do now.
You know about that?
Tommy, I'm not interested in that big.
Great. I'm intending to tell you myself. That's why I came looking for you.
No, it's all right, Tommy. I'm happy for you. But,
No hard feelings, then?
oh, Tommy, you think I have time for that?
I'm glad for you, Grace. I mean, are you glad? You don't feel like you backed down too soon, do you?
We did back, Tommy. Stay back, Tommy.
It was over here. This is where I saw her the last time. She didn't notice me at first. Then something made her look up.
Oh, my.
I saw her looking at me, and I looked away.
Just like at the courthouse that day. He can't bring himself to look at me.
My heart started pounding. I never knew what I would say if I ever had the chance. And suddenly, there I was. I had the chance.
He's afraid of me.
I couldn't bring myself to speak. I had the chance and I couldn't speak. That was years ago. I try to think back, how could it have all happened? I remember so clearly climbing those stairs to the studio that day at Almond Street. Those high, wide windows, the slant of the light, the way it hit the floor, the way the floor creaked under my feet, and the smell of the place, chalky, like an old schoolroom, and all those girls, schoolgirls, all really bent to the task, so moving so quickly, so fast. No men could work the way those girls did, so quickly. Those brushes flying quickly from the paint to the dials, to the paint to their dials, to the lips. Try as I might, I never saw their faces. I never saw their faces.